Was it indeed? Well, joining me now to talk about it, Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger of Illinois, member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, good to see you. Is it clear to you and your colleagues that President Obama spent months actively concealing from the American people Russia's interference in the election, did nothing whatsoever to do something about it? And does he deserve criticism?
He does. He does deserve criticism. I don't want to say conceal, because I think a president has to make a decision about what intel to make public, and he made this decision. But where the huge contrast is then in December, the left wing basically tried to delegitimize the presidency of President Trump by saying this was the Russians that did it. The Russians basically him. But this isn't anything new for President Obama. We need to remember, in 2012, he tapped somebody on the knee and said, hey, just wait till this election's over. I'm going to have a lot more flexibility in dealing with you. He never confronted Russia in Syria, despite Russia bombing UN aid convoys, at least with the regime, and bombing hospitals. He never confronted Russia in Ukraine. He never gave Ukraine weapons to defend themselves. So him not confronting Russia is nothing new.
All right, so, the Russian interference collusion probe has reportedly now morphed into an obstruction investigation. Do you share President Trump's concern that the special counsel, Robert Mueller, cannot be fair because of his close personal and professional relationship with James Comey? How can Mueller be impartial in deciding whether to believe his close friend versus the president who fired his close friend?
No, I don't share the president's sentiment on this. I actually, from what I know of Robert Mueller, I don't know him personally, but he's a very honorable person. It's not uncommon for people to make friendships, especially one outgoing FBI director to a new one. And plus, Washington, D.C. is a really small town. Most people actually know each other. I want to see what the results of those are to be able to judge. I think to discredit ahead of this doesn't do any good for anybody, because he's going to continue.
Honest people can be influenced in ways they don't recognize, Congressman, which is precisely why there are ethical rules. Indeed, it's in the special counsel's statute that demand recusal even if there's the appearance of partiality and prejudice.
Well, that's true, yeah. And I don't think somebody being friends with somebody like Jim Comey, who's frankly a part of this investigation, but the investigation is focused on the administration or people around the election, I don't think that necessarily rises to the point of recusal. It's interesting to me, again, because a few weeks ago, a month ago or so, people were talking about how good of a person Robert Mueller is, and then something's changed. And so, look,
people woke up and realized that he has a long-time, close personal relationship with the star witness. A key, he was a partner, an ally, a mentor, a protege. I mean, that doesn't look good, does it?
Well, I don't know how it looks. I just know when it comes to somebody investigating, you can't necessarily just discredit them because they're friends with somebody. Now, if there's an issue, and if Robert Mueller sees that James Comey has done wrong things and tries to cover it up, we'll see that, hopefully, and by the end of that, we'll know. But I think to just jump on this and say, these two guys are friends, therefore let's get Robert Mueller out of here, I don't actually share that sentiment. I'm a supporter of President Trump.
Well, it's in the special counsel statute that says if you have a personal relationship with somebody central to the case, you may not serve. It's mandatory language. Let me move on, though, if I may, Congressman. The former Attorney General, Loretta Lynch, is now being investigated, as you know, by the Judiciary Committee for a potential political interference in the Hillary Clinton email case. There's a report, in fact, that she assured the Clinton campaign that she would not let the FBI investigation go too far. Should Lynch be held to answer for this?
Absolutely. Anytime you're in government and you violate the trust of the people, no matter what party it is, if Loretta Lynch was a Republican, I'd say the same thing. For the sake of our democracy and the belief in the system, that has to be pursued. If, in fact, Attorney General Lynch did what is being accused, and if, in fact, we find that out through this investigation, through the committee's investigation, she should absolutely 100% be held to account. You cannot say from a position in the Justice Department that you are going to try to slow down something or you're going to limit the scope. The political implications because of an election. That is a huge violation of federal law.
Because it's called obstruction of justice, isn't it?
Absolutely.
All right. Congressman Adam Kinzinger, thank you very much for being here.